Are we live? It looks like we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Asylum. I'm your host, Gabriel, and it is the last day of 2020. Thank God. And in this video, everyone in the wrestling community is doing pro wrestling awards on what they think, in their own opinion, was a best superstar or a best champion or a best face, heel, promoist, match, pay-per-view. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. So you can say that this is a award show of some kind. So, well, for all the people that are watching, welcome to the first ever Pro Wrestling Asylum Awards. Of course, the reason why I named it the Pro Wrestling Asylum Awards is because my name in this channel is the Pop Culture Asylum. So instead of pop culture, I put wrestling. You know what I mean. But I'm gonna go over like the best of the best, all the things, all the great things, and all the great superstars. I'm going to say, like, for example, best wrestler, best champion, best baby face, best heel, best promoist, best rivalry, best pay-per-view. And matter of fact, all the awards that I'm going to be giving out today, and this is just my opinion. The categories are Online Show of the Year, Debut of the Year, Rivalry of the Year, Rookie of the Year, Heel of the Year, Babyface of the Year, Commentator of the Year, Promotion of the Year, Manager of the Year, Faction of the Year, Cinematic Match of the Year, Pay-Per-View of the Year, Promoist of the Year, Return of the Year, Moment of the Year, Most Improved Wrestler of the Year, Breakout Star of the Year, Tag Team of the Year, Female Superstar of the Year, Male Superstar of the Year, Match of the Year, Champion of the Year, and Superstar of the Year. So those would be the categories I would be going over in of course, in this awards. So we're going to go over it. And of course, I'm going to be typing all the winners of these specific categories on the chat. So don't worry about that, just in case you come in early. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. And before we get the awards, before we get this started, of course, we all know 2020 was not a good year, and unfortunately we lost a couple of wrestlers. So before we go over the categories and the winners of each category, in my opinion, we're gonna pay tribute to some of the wrestlers who unfortunately passed away. Of course, the wrestlers that we lost this year was as follows: Bob Armstrong, Brody Lee, Danny Hodge, Hana Kimura, Howard Finkel, Kamala, Kevin Green, Larpaka, Pat Patterson, Road Warrior Animal, Rocky Johnson, Shad Gaspar, and Tommy Leeser. I think that's his name, or basically Zeus, for that matter. So those are all the wrestlers that unfortunately passed away, and all I gotta say is rest in peace. They're definitely going to be missed, and their legacies would never be forgotten. So I just wanted to pay a little tribute to all the people that passed away this year, and their legacies would never be forgotten. Their legacies would never be forgotten. They would be deeply missed. So just wanted to point that out there. Just wanted to pay a little tribute before we start off this award show. And yeah, may they rest in peace. So let's go over the awards for the first ever Pop Culture Asylum Awards. So the first award that we are going to go over is Online Show of the Year. Of course, this is the smallest one. We're going to work our way up to the biggest one, being Superstar of the Year. So we're starting off the show with the award show with Online Show of the Year. Now, there is only 3 to choose one, basically, in my opinion. It was Being the Elite, Up, Up, Down, Down, and Sammy Guevara's blogs. Those were the only ones, in my opinion, that really entertained me the most. And really entertained me the most throughout the year. And I really love all 3. And I really appreciate that they were able to entertain us and the wrestling community. So, just with these shows, they just deserve a category because despite 2020 being a dumpster fire, they were able to entertain us. So the Online Show of the Year would have to go to Being the Elite. This was definitely obvious, at least on my end. Being the Elite is such a funny show, and it goes deeper into these wrestlers. It really exposed the wrestlers outside the wrestling ring and outside of the shows, and it just goes to show how fun and how amazing they are and as human beings. And of course, we've seen some funny segments, especially with the Dark Order. The Dark Order was definitely MVPs of Being the Elite this year. So incredible. And of course, we had Hangman Adam Page, which is in the middle of a storyline with the Elite, and nothing is really good with Hangman Page and the Elite right now. But they even continue that in BTE, which I thought I really like. And of course, we had an introduction of the BTE Championship, which I thought was awesome with all the challenges. I thought that was extremely fun. And then Frankie Kazarian being angry all the time, and everyone calling him they needs anger management. I thought that was really hilarious. Everyone at AEW should be really proud of themselves, and I really appreciate them entertaining us on every Monday afternoon of this year. And so, yeah, they Being the Elite definitely deserve it. So, Online Show of the Year goes to Being the Elite. That is the Online Show of the Year. So congratulations to Being the Elite. So coming up next, we have the debut of the year. And we had a lot of really good debuts. But I had to choose one. And again, for me, this was another easy one. The debut of the year goes to Karrion Kross. My God, his debut was amazing. Just the hype and the build up to his debut was incredible. Of course, his work as Killer Kross in TNA I thought was incredible. But once he came to NXT, bro, he was built up like a beast. Like a freaking beast. Whoo, my God. And when Karrion Kross made his debut with Scarlett, the presentation was incredible. The music was amazing. It was the entrance was just short, sweet, and to the point. It made both Karrion Kross and Scarlett very intimidating, and it was incredible. It was one of the most unique and one of the most legit debuts. And personally, this is without a doubt one of the best debuts, not just this year, but on the past 10 years. It was that good. And I can go as far to say that Karrion Kross' debut, even though it was simple, I would say this. Karrion Kross' debut is one of the best debuts of all time. It was so well done. The presentation was well done. The music was there. And it was just incredible. So the debut. So let me write this in chat. Debut of the year goes to Karrion Kross. So that is the debut of the year. So the next award that we're going to go over is Rivalry of the Year. Now, this was one of the few ones that was extremely difficult. Like, there was a lot of good rivalries, surprisingly. Like, with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, that was one. Freaking Sasha Banks and Bayley, that was one. Freaking Moxley and MJF was one. We had a lot of great rivalries, like just this year alone. And with the pandemic hitting and having my expectation not being really high because I didn't think we were going to get much in 2020, I think we got a lot of really good rivalries in 2020. But if I have to choose, in my opinion, the rivalry of the year, I'm going to give it to Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston. And I was in love with this rivalry. Even though this rivalry was short and it really didn't take that long. It was just like a month of build, and they were building up to Full Gear, and the Full Gear match was incredible. It was extremely brutal. And you guys know I'm a sucker for hardcore wrestling. So it's just, this rivalry felt so real and so legit. And like, you know, with like rivalries saying like, oh, like you're one of my best friends, even though that's not the case. Like with some of these rivalries, with Moxley and Kingston, it really felt like, and I'm sure they're best friends in real life, but it really felt like they were like legit friends. And like, because both men are like completely similar. Both men love to beat the crap out of their opponents and like not give a damn about what happened to them. And this rivalry felt so real, and it was so incredible. And I'm surprised because I've seen other awards this year from the Botch guy and Just Alex, which I recommend you guys go watch their award ceremonies. They're extremely well done. But I thought, personally, in my opinion, Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston is the best rivalry of 2020 because it felt so real, it felt so legit, and the matchup, the payoff, the ending of the rivalry was so incredible. So it felt like a must-win situation for not just Jon Moxley, but for Eddie Kingston as well. And it just felt so real and so genuine and like so legit. And keep in mind, Eddie Kingston also talked his way into this matchup, which, by the way, we're going to get to that in a few minutes. A little spoiler right there. But I thought Moxley, in my opinion, the best rivalry in 2020 goes to Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston. So let me put this on chat. Rivalry of the year goes to Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston. That is rivalry of the year, at least in my opinion. So the next category we're going to go over is Rookie of the Year. And there was a couple. This was actually a good one. Like, there was a couple of good contenders, which I thought was really good. The honorable mentions that were really good mentions was Shotzi Blackheart and Dominic Mysterio, which I thought they both had really good like rookie years. But there's one man that really stuck out from his first year of pro wrestling. And the Rookie of the Year is gonna go to Pat McAfee. At first, Pat McAfee, I thought he was going to do terrible in the ring. I thought it was going to be another like wasted time matchup between Adam Cole and Pat McAfee at NXT TakeOver 30. But honestly, It was one of the best matches of the night. It was that good. Pat McAfee shocked me. Shocked me. Like he put up one of the best matches of his career. And it was his first year. And it was against Adam Cole. The fact that he was able to hang in there with one of the best in the world right now, that is impressive. Not to mention the fact that he is great on the mic. Pat McAfee just talking all this smack, like he was born to be a heel. He was born to be a heel, and he shut my mouth. Like I thought he was going to be a big failure at NXT, but he punched me right in the mouth, and rightfully so. He made me from a Pat McAfee hater to a Pat McAfee fan. And he also had another great performance at NXT TakeOver War Games. How he did a freaking moonsault off the freaking cage. Perfectly executed. This was with, personally, Pat McAfee was definitely Rookie of the Year and one of the best things in NXT this year. Pat McAfee should be extremely proud of himself. And I hope we see more Pat McAfee in the future because he is just freaking incredible. So, for Rookie of the Year. Hold on, I spelled rookie wrong. Let me fix that real quick. Rookie. I cannot spell tonight. Rookie of the Year goes to Pat McAfee. I don't know if I spelled that correctly. I definitely spelled McAfee wrong, but you know what I mean. The Rookie of the Year does go to Pat McAfee. Then after that, we got Heel of the Year. This one was freaking difficult to pick. Freaking difficult to pick. Here were the honorable mentions before we get to the winner. My honorable mentions were Jay White, which done incredible work in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Like, he's just a straight up prick, and I love every second of it. Jay White's doing some of his best work in New Japan, and he was definitely a mention, but he didn't win. Another person that didn't win is MJF, Maxwell Jacob Freeman. Don't get me wrong, I love MJF, but MJF didn't exactly, he's not there yet. MJF still has just a little bit of work to do to become like a legit megastar heel. But I'm not going to take anything away from MJF and what he did this year. He's a fantastic heel. He was born to be a heel. I hope AEW never turns him face, because if that's the case, that would be a big mistake. But MJF was a big honorable mention, and he's personally one of my favorite heels ever right now. But he did not get the award. And the last one is Roman Reigns. He was also an honorable mention. And Roman Reigns as a heel is doing some of the most incredible work ever as a heel. Like, he made like Kevin Owens legit. He made Jey Uso into a freaking star. And he's doing some of his amazing work. And trust me, if I wanted to put Roman Reigns as the heel of the year, but as he's doing incredible work, but there's one thing and one thing only that was the major reason why I didn't give him heel of the year. And that was because he wasn't here the whole year. He only came back for SummerSlam. And then, of course, he came back for the second year of 2020, but he wasn't here all year. And don't get me wrong, for these past 4 months, Roman Reigns has been doing incredible. He's my favorite wrestler right now in WWE. That's how good he is as a heel. But I don't want to give an award to someone that hasn't really been here all year. So even though Roman Reigns is doing an incredible job as a heel, and I hope it stays that way, he did not get an award. But the heel of the year goes to Randy Orton. Randy Orton deserves this award. Of course, Randy Orton deserves the same praise that I give to Roman Reigns. He had an incredible year. Like, this man was just a straight up dick. Okay, first of all, he was here all year, so that was another big reason. But also, here's some of the things he did. He tried to re-injured Edge and RKO'd his wife, Beth Phoenix. He took out many legends during the summer, and he burned a man alive. Burned a man alive to end the year. Okay, if that's not heel enough, then I don't know what to tell you. If you don't think that all of that is the heel deserves an award for best heel, then you probably don't know what a heel is. Randy Orton did such an incredible job as a heel, and also the fact that he was here all year, he definitely deserves heel of the year. So congratulations to Randy Orton for heel of the year. Let me type that down real quick. Heel of the year goes to Randy Orton. So here we go. So with every hero, there's always a baby face. The next category is baby face of the year, and this was definitely a no-brainer for me. The face of the year for 2020 is Drew McIntyre. This man did an incredible job in a babyface role. This man took down all challengers. People were behind him. People didn't give him go away heel or boo him. I thought he was perfectly booked as a great champion and an incredible babyface. And yeah, Drew McIntyre deserved, if the fans were here this year, they would, Drew McIntyre would have big pops. He was that incredible as a face. And I feel bad for Drew McIntyre because he deserved to have those reactions. But of course, the pandemic happened, and unfortunately, that was not the case. But Drew McIntyre was definitely one of the men who carried WWE on his back for 2020. And Drew McIntyre should be extremely proud of himself. So the babyface of the year goes to Drew McIntyre. So let me put this on the chat. Babyface of the year. I almost spelled year wrong. To Drew McIntyre. Hold on. INDYRE. That is babyface of the year, Drew McIntyre. So congratulations to Drew McIntyre for babyface of the year. So the next category we're going to go over is commentator of the year. And we had a lot of good commentators. Of course, Mauro Ronaldo, which was extremely incredible. And it was extremely unfortunate that he had to quit WWE and NXT. But he said he couldn't handle it, and I respect his decision, but he was such a great commentator. And other ones were Samoa Joe, which was extremely awesome and was definitely a big honorable mention. And Jim Ross. And of course, Jim Ross is a freaking legend. But commentator of the year, I have to give it to Tony Schiavone. This man had the most memorable quotes of this year. This man stood out from the pack. And even though everyone else tried to be a great commentator. And trust me, there was ones who tried. Like I said, Ronaldo, like Samoa Joe and Jim Ross. But Tony Schiavone just made everything special, everything important, and everything so incredible. And like I said, he made every matchup and every segment just feel special and important. Even the small ones, like it felt special and it felt important all because of Tony Schiavone. And I'm just glad to have. I'm glad that Tony Schiavone is back as a commentator because he sold the show commentator wise this year alone. So congratulations to Tony Schiavone. He is commentator of the year. Let me put this on chat. Commentator of the year goes to Tony Schiavone. Hold on, make sure I'm spelling this correctly. I think that's how you spell Schiavone. I'm not sure. There you go. Commentator of the year goes to Tony Schiavone. Then we get to promotion of the year. This is easy. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to type it on chat. Promotion of the year goes to AEW. Do I even have to say anything? Honestly, do I really have to say anything? Despite the pandemic, AEW put up some of the best shows of this year. Of course, we had of course, all the pay-per-views, which most of them were extremely incredible. Well, except Old Owl, but even Old Owl wasn't that bad. And we also had small shows like Fighter Fest and Winter is Coming, which were free on television. Plus, we had some incredible shows, some incredible moments, and a lot of superstars were made in AEW. And AEW deserves a lot of the love. AEW was definitely 110%, no hesitation, promotion of the year. So congratulations to AEW for promotion of the year. Then we get to manager of the year. And we had some really great managers this year. Some honorable mentions were Selena Vega, Paul Heyman, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, and Taz. All were extremely, extremely phenomenal this year in their manager roles. But there was one man that really did an incredible job as a manager this year and definitely did the job right in rejuvenating and saving 3 careers that were like this close to death. And so manager of the year goes to Montel Botadius Porter, MVP. This man deserves manager of the year. He's not just the leader of one of the best factions of this year, the Hurt Business, but he saved the careers of 3 men, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and Cedric Alexander. But MVP, like, saved Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin's career out of mediocrity and saved Cedric Alexander's career from literal death. And not to mention the fact that the Hurt Business has all the gold right now. Of course, Bobby Lashley as U.S. champion, Shelton and Cedric as Raw Tag Team champions. Of course, they don't have all the championships, but they have most of the championships. And MVP made these 3 men legit. MVP should be extremely proud of themselves. Not just being a great manager, but going one step beyond and saving 3 talented men's careers. So MVP, you definitely deserve this award in my eyes. You should be extremely proud of yourself. Congratulations, Montel Botadius Porter, MVP. So let me put this on chat. Manager of the year goes to MVP. So he is manager of the year. Faction of the year is the next category. And we had a good couple mentions. We had the Inner Circle, we had the Dark Order, we had Team Taz, and we had Seth Rollins' group, which was a weird mention. I'm surprised they considered that as a group. But the faction of the year goes to the Hurt Business. The freaking Hurt Business. Of course, they don't just got the best manager of 2020 and MVP, but they were legit. At one point, people called the Hurt Business the best faction of 2020. There was a lot of positive stuff for the Hurt Business. And if it wasn't for WWE's repetitive writing and giving the Hurt Business the same like matches over and over and over again, they would be like beyond like one of the best factions of all time. Okay. And I think they are capable of doing that in 2021. And not to mention the fact that they're ending the year with 90% of the championships. Again, they have the United States Championship and the Raw Tag Team Championships. The only titles they don't have is the Raw Women's Championship, the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship, but who cares about those titles, and the WWE Championship. The Hurt Business should be extremely proud of themselves. Of course, they were legit. They had a great manager. They had a great presentation and such great talents that are in there. So the Hurt Business wins Faction of the Year. Congratulations to the Hurt Business for Faction of the Year. So let me type this in the chat. Faction of the Year goes to the Hurt Business. I almost spelled Hurt wrong. I cannot spell tonight. Faction of the Year goes to the Hurt Business. So the next category we're going to go over is a certain specific type of matchup that was born this year. Of course, we had the pandemic, and of course, the fans were not there, which is extremely unfortunate. But both WWE and AEW, I'll give them this, were extremely creative. So our next category is Cinematic Match of the Year. And obviously, we had some honorable mentions. The Firefly Funhouse match between John Cena and Bray Wyatt. I thought, even though not a lot of people consider that as a match, I thought it was extremely entertaining. I loved it. Of course, we have the Stadium Stampede match with the Elite, with Matt Hardy going against the Inner Circle. I thought that was a fun match. Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara, the Elite Deletion in All Gear, AEW Full Gear 2020. And the last one was, I think those were the three honorable mentions. Oh, wait, no, I forgot one more. Randy Orton versus The Fiend. That's technically a cinematic matchup, but the cinematic match that would be taking this year's award is The Undertaker versus AJ Styles in their Boneyard match, which was basically a Bury Alive match, at WrestleMania of this year. This was a perfect finale for The Undertaker. And of course, with The Undertaker, will go down without a doubt as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, professional wrestlers of all time. Definitely one of my favorites of all time. And there's definitely a big argument, and I can see why people consider him as the very, very best. But for the last couple of years, he hasn't had good matches. He had 3 terrible matches, which was extremely unfortunate. But I'm glad The Undertaker was able to have his final match at a high note, because this was an incredible matchup. An amazing performance by The Undertaker and AJ Styles. And in this matchup, The Undertaker wasn't like just his dead man persona. He was the American Badass. He was Mark Calloway. And the matchup was so good. And Undertaker finally getting the last laugh over AJ Styles, and that ending. that freaking ending where the Undertaker on his bike, there's like the T sign, the Undertaker sign, and he just rode into the sunset. Just rode into the sunset. Such a perfect matchup, such a perfect final matchup for the Undertaker. And that is 100% like the true final farewell for the Undertaker. I thought this matchup did an incredible job than the Undertaker farewell thing at Survivor Series. Even though WWE did what they could, I feel like the cinematic matchup was 100% better. And this was a perfect final matchup for The Undertaker. Great performance by both men. And I'm definitely going to miss you, Undertaker. I really am. So the cinematic matchup of the year goes to Undertaker versus AJ Styles, the Boneyard match at WrestleMania of this year. So congratulations to both the Undertaker and AJ Styles. I almost said AEW for this amazing matchup. They definitely deserve this reward. So let me type this in the chat. Cinematic match of the year goes to Undertaker versus AJ Styles Boneyard match at WrestleMania. I almost spelled WrestleMania wrong. 2020. Hold on. And there we go. That is the cinematic matchup of the year, in my opinion. The Undertaker versus AJ Styles, the Boneyard match at WrestleMania. Then we get to our next category, pay-per-view of the year. Pay-per-view of the year. And it goes to, without a shadow of a doubt, no hesitation, AEW Full Gear 2020. This was without a doubt, in my opinion, the best show of 2020. Think of all the matches we had. We had Kenny Omega versus Hangman Adam Page. We had freaking Thunder Rosa versus Hikaru Shida. We had like Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston. We had the Young Bucks versus FTR. We had Cody Rhodes versus Darby Allin. The matches in that show were so well done and it was booked up so well and it was hyped up so well. And it was such an incredible show. And this was, in my opinion, the best show of 2020 and one of the best shows of all time, in my opinion. Such an incredible show. It definitely deserves pay-per-view of the year. Pay-per-view of the year goes to AEW Full Gear 2020. Hold on, I almost spelled gear wrong. 2020. There you go. That is pay-per-view of the year. Such an amazing pay-per-view. So that is pay-per-view of the year. So the next category we're going to go over is promos of the year. Who put up the best promos? And of course, a couple mentions were Roman Reigns, MJF, Jon Moxley, and Cody Rhodes. But the best promo list of the freaking year is my boy, Eddie Kingston. No, and this was easy. This was freaking easy. It's simple. If Eddie Kingston speaks, you stop whatever the hell you're doing and you listen. That's how good he is on the mic. And he makes professional wrestling legit. He treats professional wrestling legit. And not to mention the fact that he talked his way into a contract and talked his way into a world championship match with Jon Moxley. Not many people can talk their way into a championship matchup, but Eddie Kingston can because he is that great on the mic. He was incredible. He had some of the best promos of this freaking year. Personally, my favorite promo of this year was the Go Home show for Full Gear. It was Eddie Kingston versus Jon Moxley. And bro, oh my God. If you guys have not seen that promo yet, Go out of your way to watch it. It was so well done. I love Eddie Kingston. His promos are just incredible. And he's so good on the mic that he can make a bag of Sour Patch Kids freaking amazing. Oh, and you thought that doesn't exist, but it does. It was one of the episodes in Being the Elite where he literally made Sour Patch Kids. Sour Patch Kids, freaking incredible. Eddie Kingston deserves Promos of the Year, no doubt, no competition. Eddie Kingston deserves. If anyone deserves Promo is of the Year, it's definitely Eddie Kingston. So congratulations to Eddie Kingston. No competition here. He deserves Promo of the freaking Year. So let me type this in the chat. Promo list of the year goes to my boy Eddie Kingston. Boom. That is your promo list of the year. Then after that, our next category is Return of the Year. Do I even have to say who wins this award? Do I even have to say this? You know what? We're just going to skip this award. We all know who won this award. You know, I'm just kidding. But this was extremely obvious. No competition here. The Return of the Year goes to the Rated R Superstar Edge. Oh my God, I lost my shit when he came out. Edge making his return was one of the most special moments ever. Not just in Royal Rumble history, but in wrestling history as a whole. Like, we all thought that he was never going to wrestle again because of his career-ending injury with his neck. If he wrestled again, like, he was going to be paralyzed, and he was out for 9 years. But Edge did the impossible. He came back, and he looked better than ever. And even my sister is a big fan for Edge. She is a mark for Edge. And when she came back, she was in tears. She was in tears of happy joy. Like, she was in tears. She was crying. Like, oh my God, if you only saw my sister's reaction, she was really in love with Edge. And me, I lost my shit. Hell, my older brother hasn't even watched wrestling in a while. He watched the Royal Rumble, and even he lost his shit. Well, he didn't lose his shit like me and my sister did, but he definitely had a smile on his face. Such an incredible moment. And of course, my older brother has had a smile on his face when Edge made his return. And it takes a lot for my brother to smile, I'm not going to lie. I love you, bro, but yeah, it takes a lot for him to smile. The fact that he smiled when Edge made his return just puts a smile on my face, and it was such an incredible moment. Such an incredible return. Edge, 110%, deserves Return of the Year. And if anyone else gets this award, then I don't know. That's just they're just cheating themselves. Edge is the true definitive winner of this award. Return of the Year goes to the Rated R Superstar, Edge. Congratulations to Edge for Return of the Year. After that, we got to Moment of the Year. And we had a few couple mentions. We had the La Dinner's Debonair with Chris Jericho and MJF. I thought that was extremely awesome. Edge making his return. Of course, Randy Orton RKOing Beth Phoenix. The Eddie Kingston, Jon Moxley segment. The Go Home show before AEW Full Gear. We had a lot of honorable mentions. But the Moment of the Year goes to Sting making his debut in AEW. I didn't see this coming. The wrestling world didn't see this coming. Like, when Sting came out, I lost my freaking marbles. Freaking marbles. Like, Sting, it was out of nowhere. Out of the last person I would see in AEW is Sting. But Sting made his debut to AEW and like going face to face with his longtime rival Arn Anderson, with Cody Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes, and even Darby Allin. And it was such a special moment, and one I didn't see coming. And like it was such a special moment. So it's definitely a no-brainer for me. Moment of the year. Hold on, I can't spell moment to save my life. Moment of the year goes to Sting making his debut in AEW and returning to the TNT network since 2001. Boom. And that's another thing. Like the fact that Sting made his return to TNT, like the same like network that made him a star in the first place, I thought that was really awesome and such a special moment. Sting definitely deserves moment of the year. Then after that, we had the most improved wrestler of the year. We had a few honorable mentions. A big honorable mention that was legit second place to this person was Britt Baker. When she was face, I wasn't really a fan of her, but once she turned heel, my God, she was one of the best women in AEW. Even when she was injured, she was one of the best women in AEW. Britt Baker is that good as a heel, and she was literally this close to winning this. But I feel like this person who won it definitely deserved it because this person struggled more than Britt Baker, and the fact that he improved a lot definitely says something. So my most improved wrestler of the year goes to Damian Priest. Damian Priest. When Damian Priest made his debut, not many people cared for him. I was familiar with his work as Punishment Martinez in Ring of Honor. He was freaking awesome. And when he came to NXT, I thought he was awesome, but not many people thought about it that way. And for the first like 2 months, I thought he was like boring. I feel like there's not much character in there. Like I still love his matches and his promos were good. Not Eddie Kingston level, but really good. But I feel like his identity was he like a Karrion Kross type character, or was he like a Godfather Pimp type character? But like for 2020, like this was his year. Like he had an incredible matchup with Finn Balor at In Your House. He was just putting up great performance after great performance after great performance. And not to mention the fact that he became NXT North American champion, and he is going against one of the hottest superstars right now, Karrion Kross, in New Year's Evil next Wednesday, which is very big. So Damian Priest definitely improved. I'm glad a lot of people are waking up this man, and he definitely, in my opinion, deserves his award. So the most improved wrestler of the year goes to Damian Priest. So congratulations to Damian Priest. Hopefully, and I know better things are coming for him in 2021. I can't wait what Damian Priest can do in 2021. So most improved wrestler of the year goes to Damian Priest. Yes. Congratulations to Damian Priest for most improved wrestler of the year. Breakout Star of the Year is the next category. And we had a couple of good honorable mentions. Keith Lee was one, Kyle O'Reilly, Orange Cassidy, and Pat McAfee. And all four of these men, and there's a couple others for it, but those four men were legit this close to being the Breakout Star of the Year. But there was one man who stood out from the West, which in my opinion definitely had the biggest breakout, was definitely the Breakout Star of the Year. And that man was Darby Allin. Darby Allin wins Breakout Star of the Year. This man was already big in 2019. I was already a big fan of him, but this year he was on another complete level. This man had instant classics with Cody Rhodes. He made Team Taz legit. Not to mention the fact that he's TNT champion and his mentor is Sting. And he is one of the most humble guys I have ever seen in the ring. This was definitely Darby Allin's year, and he definitely deserves Breakout Star of the Year. So congratulations to Darby Allin. Of course, I was a big fan before 2020, and I will continue to be a big fan because Darby Allin is that awesome. So Breakout Star of the Year goes to my boy, Darby Allin. Congratulations to Darby Allin for Breakout Star of the Year. So the next award category we're going to go over is Tag Team of the Year. Of course, we had a lot of honorable mentions. Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page, the Young Bucks, the Golden Role Models, the Street Profits, and the North. Ethan Page and Josh Alexander from Impact Wrestling. And all these tag teams were close. I enjoyed all these tag teams this year. But there was one team that I enjoyed the most. And that was FTR. Fear the Revolution. Bro, when they, even before winning the tag team championships, they had this old school tag team. I don't care about you. All I care about winning matches, winning championships, and making money kind of wrestlers. And I just love it. And of course, when Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler were in WWE as Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, WWE just made a big mistake not capitalizing on this team. Because this team, if you give them time and make them a big deal, they freaking deliver. And this year, they definitely deliver. When they were AEW Tag Team Champions, they made the championships legit. And hell, they put up some of the best tag team matches of this year. Of course, they had an amazing tag team match with the Young Bucks at Full Gear. We had another amazing matchup with SCU and an amazing matchup with Best Friends, Chucky T, Chuck Taylor, and Trent Beretta. Amazing match after amazing match after amazing freaking match. FTR was the definitive tag team, not to mention the fact they had one of the greatest legends as their manager in Tully Blanchard. So they're already established. They're already a big deal. FTR should be extremely proud of themselves. Congratulations to Dax and Cash. They are your tag team of the year. Well, they're technically my tag team of the year. Tag team of the year goes to FTR. Fear the Revolution or Fear the Revelation. So congratulations to FTR for being the tag team of the year. So the next category we're going to go over is Female Superstar of the Year. The honorable mentions that were definitely a consideration was two. Sasha Banks and Thunder Rosa. Well, I also thought Hikaru Shida as well. Those three ladies were definitely put under consideration for being female superstar of the year. But I think we all know who deserves female superstar of the year, and that woman is Bailey. Female wise, this she had the best year out of every woman in every single promotion. For the ladies, Bailey, this was her freaking year. Like she was definitely one of the best parts of the summer of WWE. Not to mention the fact that she was the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion. She was doing amazing stuff with many of the women in the roster. And Bailey was so good, so great as a heel. And the fact that Bailey can play as an amazing babyface, an amazing heel is just it really goes to show that Bailey can do it all. But Bailey, Bailey got to showcase her bad side for the whole year, and my God, whoo, she was one of the best. Not just she was definitely the best female wrestler of WWE, but she was one of the best wrestlers in WWE. Period. She was that good. She was that incredible, and this was eventually became a no-brainer. Of course, you had amazing matches with Thunder Rosa, Sasha Banks, and Hikaru Shida. But Bailey deserves this. She had such an incredible. This was her freaking year. So if anyone deserves this, is Bailey. So congratulations to Bailey for being female superstar of the year. So let me type this in the chat. Female superstar. I almost spelled superstar wrong. Superstar of the year. Superstar of the year. Bailey. She definitely deserved it. So coming up next, we have the male superstar of the year. And I definitely got to give this to Drew McIntyre. This man was definitely like he worked his ass off. Like despite 2020 and despite the pandemic being major like negatives for Drew McIntyre, he made it work and he worked his ass off to make Monday Night Raw watchable. And he was working extremely hard. He was going against great wrestlers like Ziggler, Bobby Lashley, Randy Orton, Keith Lee, Sheamus. And even though they weren't booked right, they were great matches. Not to mention the fact Seth Rollins as well. And Drew McIntyre just worked his ass off and definitely carried 2020 on his back for WWE. Of course, he had some help along the way with Sasha Banks and Bailey helping him out, Roman Reigns, Jey Uso helping him, and Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and The Fiend all helping out Drew McIntyre. And even though they helped later on with Drew McIntyre with carrying WWE, Drew McIntyre was holding WWE behind his back for the entire year, from January to December. And Drew McIntyre should be extremely proud of himself. Drew McIntyre, I appreciate your hard work, and you definitely deserve Male Superstar of the Year. So congratulations to Male Superstar of the Year, Drew McIntyre. So let me put this on the chat. Male Superstar of the Year, Drew McIntyre. That is your Male Superstar of the Year. Congratulations to Drew McIntyre. Now we get to our final three awards, ladies and gentlemen, the most important ones. Of course, some of these were extremely important as well, but now we get to the juicy part of it. So our next category is Match of the Year. And we had a lot of great contenders, a lot of great contenders. The Young Bucks and FTR was one. Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens at TLC of this year was one. Bailey and Sasha Banks inside Hell in a Cell. Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins, Money in the Bank. John Moxley versus MJF. Kenny Omega versus Hangman Adam Page. Like, like such. This was extremely tough. Walter versus Ilya Dragunov was one. That was a brutal, brutal match. But there was one match that's definitely stood out as not just the best match of this year, but without a doubt one of the best tag team matches of all time. The match of the year goes to the Young Bucks versus Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page, AEW Revolution 2020. What do I even have to say about this match? Dave Meltzer, this matchup broke the scales, broke Dave Meltzer's scales, gave me a 6 stars. A lot of people gave it positive praise. And I agree with Dave Meltzer. It deserves the 6 stars. Everything about it was perfect. The technical match, the match was perfect. The storytelling was perfect. These 4 men gave it their all, and it was just a beauty to watch. And as a person who loves tag team wrestling, this was so well done. And if you guys haven't seen this matchup, I recommend you do so because this match was incredible. Freaking incredible. Congratulations to the Young Bucks versus Omega Page. Literally, me explaining the matchup does not do it justice. You gotta watch the matchup for yourselves. And if you love tag team wrestling, this matchup is for you. So, match of the year. Hold on, let me type it in chat. Match of the year goes to Young Bucks. Hold on, I spelled Young wrong. Bucks versus Omega and Page. Hold on. Omega / Page. AEW Revolution 2020. That is match of the year. Congratulations to the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and Hangman Adam Page. All 4 men did a phenomenal job in this matchup. And if you guys haven't seen it, I recommend you do so. Even me explaining it does not do it any justice. So such an incredible match. So the next category we're going to go over is Champion of the Year. And some of the honorable mentions were Tetsuya Naito, with him being IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, IWGP Intercontinental Champion in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Bailey as the SmackDown Women's Champion. Drew McIntyre, the WWE Champion. And Roman Reigns, the Universal Champion. But all of these champions did such an incredible job this year. But the champion that I chose and definitely deserves this award goes to Jon Moxley. This man did such an incredible job as champion this year. This man put up amazing matches with Brody Lee, Eddie Kingston, Brian Cage, Chris Jericho, MJF, and not to mention the fact that he held the championship for most of this year. Of course, he lost it in the winter is coming late November to Kenny Omega, but he held the championship for most of this year, and it was such incredible work. Such incredible work. He was such an amazing champion. He made the championship legit, and AEW did a great job making Jon Moxley like a legit, the final boss of AEW. Jon Moxley definitely deserved to be champion of the year. He did such an incredible job. He had amazing matches at champion. and will definitely go down as one of the best AEW champions of all time and one of the best champions, period. And this title reign was so well done. Jon Moxley definitely deserves this award. Congratulations to Jon Moxley to being champion of the year. So let me type this in the chat. Champion of the year goes to Jon Moxley. And then we get to Superstar of the Year, the final award, the big daddy of them all, the WrestleMania of awards, Superstar of the Year. And there were a couple of honorable mentions. The honorable mentions were Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, Jon Moxley, MJF, Roman Reigns, Bayley, and Drew McIntyre. Those were definitely the honorable mentions of this award. And there's only one man that definitely deserved this. And everyone that I said as an honorable mention had a great year. And all of them were definitely big contenders for Superstar of the Year. But the Superstar of the Year, at least in my opinion, goes to Jon Moxley. Jon freaking Moxley is Superstar of the Year. Matter of fact, let me play his music real quick. Hold on, let me find it. Let me find it. There we go. Let me lower it down so that way I don't get copyright claims. But Jon Moxley takes Superstar of the Year. I don't know if you can hear the music, but I hope you guys can hear the music. But this was his year. He definitely deserved to be Superstar of the Year. Like, again, he had such a great title reign, and like he made every matchup that he was in legit, and every segment like was special every time you saw Jon Moxley. Like, this man worked his ass off. This man produced his best work, and it definitely showed. Not to mention the fact that he had major improvement when it comes to his wrestling style, because when he was in WWE as Dean Ambrose, he was just a brawler type, which I didn't mind, but I wanted like a little bit more from Ambrose, and that's what we got in Jon Moxley in AEW. Like, this man like had like an MMA style moveset, and I literally saw moves from him that I'd never seen before and really wowed me. This man was a hard worker. This man had an incredible moveset, had a great title reign, made everyone legit, made every segment special, and definitely carried AEW on his back. And that's why, in my opinion, Jon Moxley deserves to be Superstar of the Year. So congratulations to Jon Moxley. He is taking the award for 2020's pop. He's going to take home the award of 2020 Pro Wrestling Asylum Award of Superstar of the Year. Congratulations to Jon Moxley. He definitely deserved it. So let me type this in chat. Superstar of the Year goes to Jon Moxley. Boom. So that is and just like that, we are done we have done all the awards. So let's do a little refresher. Let's go back to the beginning real quick. So the categories and the winners are as follows. The online show of the year goes to Being the Elite. The debut of the year goes to Karrion Kross. The rivalry of the year goes to Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston. Rookie of the year goes to Pat McAfee. Heel of the year goes to Randy Orton. Babyface of the year goes to Drew McIntyre. Commentator of the year goes to Tony Schiavone. Promotion of the year goes to AEW. Manager of the year goes to MVP. Faction of the year goes to The Hurt Business. The cinematic matchup of the year goes to The Undertaker versus AJ Styles in that Boneyard match at WrestleMania of this year. Pay-per-view of the year goes to AEW Full Gear 2020. Promoist of the year goes to Eddie Kingston. Return of the year goes to Edge. Moment of the year goes to Sting making his debut in AEW and returning to the TNT network ever since WCW closed its doors. The most improved wrestler of the year goes to Damian Priest. Breakout star of the year goes to Darby Allin. Tag team of the year goes to FTR. Female superstar of the year goes to Bayley. Male superstar of the year goes to Drew McIntyre. Match of the year goes to the Young Bucks versus Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page, AEW Revolution 2020. Champion of the year goes to Jon Moxley. And superstar of the year goes to Jon Moxley. So overall, this was a great year for Jon Moxley as a whole. But congratulations to all the men and women, and congratulations to all the segment and matches and rivalries that won these awards this year. And again, this was all my opinion on these categories, on who would win these awards. And I want to know what you guys think in the comments section. Who do you think deserve these awards? Do you guys agree with my picks? Do you guys disagree with my picks? I want to know what you guys think in the comments section. But like I said, thank you so much for watching. That is the end of the first ever Pro Wrestling Asylum Awards. I really hope you guys enjoyed. And just one more thing before I end this live stream is that 2020 was a dumpster fire of a year. It really, really was. And hopefully things will get better in 2021. But there were some good things. And there were some good things in my life this year that were really good. And matter of fact, there was 6 specific things that really happened to me this year that were great. And I want to tell them to you real quick. So, yeah, so even though 2020 was a dumpster fire, it wasn't like, even though, and trust me, it was even bad even for me, but not everything was bad. And I want to showcase some of the positive things that happened in my life this year. So, of course, I got my permit this year. So I thought that was awesome. So I'm going to start driving, which is extremely exciting. This year, I had my first job in my Taekwondo academy, and of course, I do Taekwondo. And I have my first job in my academy, and my job is to teach the kids and the adults who take the classes. And I'm very, very grateful, and I really enjoy, and I'm really happy at my first job. And I'm very blessed, and I'm very grateful to even have a job, especially during a pandemic like this. The next thing that was really good to me was I won my very first gold medal. Of course, I've been doing Taekwondo for 8 years, and I started back around 2011, 2012, I think. I don't know, but I won my first gold medal this year. Of course, we did a tournament. The tournament was virtual. We had to do it on Zoom, but it was a big tournament. Everyone from everyone in the United States was competing, and it was without a doubt one of the toughest competitions I ever experienced, and it was tough. But for the first and there was times where I got close to winning it. I got a couple of silver medals, a couple of bronze medals, but there I this year I won a gold medal. Matter of fact, this is what it looks like right here. This is my gold medal, and this was a gold medal in patterns, and I was extremely proud of this because and my division was not easy. I was going against 8 of the best black belts like I have ever seen. Like I was going against people from Nashville, North Carolina, Georgia. Like it was not easy. So the fact that that the judges thought I had the best pattern out of all of them is just such an honor. And I am very blessed and I'm very grateful that I was able to win my very first gold medal. And it felt amazing. It really did. And I will never forget this. This was awesome. The fact that I was able to win my first gold medal, I thought that was really cool. The next thing I would like to go over is that in my Taekwondo school, story of the award. Of course, there's a woman called Delaney who used to like do Taekwondo at the specific academy, but unfortunately, like I believe it was 2 years ago, she passed away trying to go against cancer. But of course, her family and Taekwondo America made a very special award dedicated to her, and they started doing this like in 2018, and of course this year, and of course this award goes to all the people who work extremely hard inside the dojo and out. And to my surprise, I actually won the award. And this is what it looks like right here. It's called the Delaney. It's a little bit backwards, but it's called the Delaney Milburn Indomitable Spirit Award. And the fact that they chose me, of all people, to win this award, it's very special because I'm not gonna lie, like I thought I was never going to win this. I thought even though I work hard and I work hard and I try my best every single day, I didn't think it was to the caliber of winning this award. So the fact that they even acknowledged my hard work and the fact that they gave me an award for it, it's a blessing, and I'm very honored, and I'm proud to carry the spirit of Delaney. And even though I didn't know her personally, like I'm sure she was a great woman, and the fact that they even chose me for this award was definitely unexpected, but it was an honor, definitely an honor. So there's that. And then also this year, I ended up being a level 3 instructor in my Taekwondo academy. Of course, there's 4 levels. There's level 1s and level 2s, which are like beginners in the instructor program. But level 3s and level 4s are like the leaders of the school. And I became level 3 this year, and even though it's a big responsibility, I wanted to become level 3. I wanted to become the leader of this school because like my Taekwondo academy, like they taught me to not just be a better warrior, but a better person. And I wanted to give back to my Taekwondo academy for being so amazing and giving so much to me. And it's an honor being a leader at the academy, and it's such an honor being a level 3 instructor and being a leader in the academy. So I thought that was awesome. And the last thing I like to go over is is me and my sister did a half marathon this year in December. And don't worry, we were wearing masks. It was outside, but we were wearing masks and stuff like that. We were social distancing, and we went through it, and we had great times. Me and my sisters broke our goals. And matter of fact, I got the information right here about my time. Hold on, let me put it up on my app. But I definitely broke my record, and it was really, really good. Hold on, it's loading. My time was 2 hours and 11 seconds, and my pace was 9 minutes and 11 seconds. And I'm very, very proud. My 5K was my 5K portion I finished in under 25 minutes. 10K I finished in 54 minutes and 37 seconds. In the 15K portion I finished in an hour, 24 minutes and 2 seconds. And of course, I finished the entire half marathon in 2 hours and 11 seconds. And my sister beat her record as well. So the fact that we're getting better and better at this, it's just awesome. And the fact that me and my sister are doing something that we both love is just, it's a great brother sister activity, and that really makes our bond stronger. Like, our bond is already strong as it is, but it's extremely, extremely strong every time we do running. And in matter of fact, we're going to do another one in 2021, and hopefully we get better times. But those are some of the things that were actually positive for me in 2020. And I want to know your story. Like, did anything positive happen to you in 2020? Because I know not everything, like, even though 2020 was a dumpster fire, I'm sure something positive happened to you. And if you don't want it could be something big, it could be something small. But I want to hear, did anything positive happen to you in 2020? I want to know I want you to, if you want to say in the comments section, then go ahead. And I want to hear all the positive things that happened to you during this year. But at the end of the day, we can all agree that despite some of the good things that happened in 2020 for us, 2020 ended up being a dumpster fire. And hopefully 2021 can be better than 2020. Like, I don't see how any year can get worse than 2020. But I digress. But that's all I gotta say. Thank you so much for watching. Happy New Year, and I hope everyone has a great 2021. And that's all I gotta say. Thank you so much for watching. And this is Gabriel, and I will see you in 2021 here in the Asylum. Good night, everyone, and Happy New Year.